So this is the Ford Sierra, my favorite car in the whole world, 87, imported from Italy. So basically we fixed the power steering leaks a while back, but there was a small issue when you turn. The steering will not return. It was kind of a weird scenario on that. So had the customer sort the steering rack. It took a hot minute because pretty much they're rare, so they had to rebuild one just for this one. We just got it in. Unfortunately, I'm super busy with other stuff, and since this one is an easy job, I'm gonna have Ben tackle this one along. So, hand you over to Ben.
Today we're going to be working on this Ford Sierra Cosworth. We're just going to be replacing the steering rack on it. Shouldn't be too bad. I've already looked underneath just to kind of see what goes into it, and it doesn't look too bad, so should be quick, easy parts replacement, so should be fun. Well, I just got it halfway up, took the tires off. I'm going to go grab the new part, kind of compare them, make sure it's the right one, make sure he's got us the right one. And if it is, then we're just gonna jump right in and start doing it. Okay, so far so good. I'm just bending these cotter pins so I can take these nuts off for the tie rod ends. I'm gonna smack those two out first. And then it's held in just by 2 bolts right here. Steering shaft, and a couple lines, and then that's pretty much it. I mean, you don't have to take anything else out to get to anything. It's just right there. Matter of getting it done. That steering shaft's pretty close to the starter. I might as well disconnect the battery so no accidents happen, you know. Better safe than sorry. There we go. That'll be good. Looks like a 10 for those power steering lines. You know, for hot days like today, pretty humid today, I would like to thank Glenn. He sent me some things a couple months back that definitely, they come in handy for days like today, so thank you, Glenn. I appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying this video. Oh, nice. I just clamped off the hose. This is for the reservoir, and so it's just not gonna dump everything out of the reservoir, so at least I'll have something still in the system, so I'm not just dumping everything. I'll save a little bit of, because what he has in there is already new fluid from when we did our power steering leak fix. So I'm just trying to save as much of that new fluid as I can. You'll obviously still always have some run out, but it's always good to just save as much as you can. My favorite ratchet that I would normally use is broken, and the Snap-on guy hasn't been here yet to repair it, so stuck with this big monster one for a little bit. He should come today. Should. Oh, now I broke my Snap-on hose clamp pliers. They're plastic. Don't say anything. I know they're plastic. My Mickey Mouse tools. But I got bigger plastic ones. Probably should have started with these, huh? Now, since this is an older car, on newer cars, steering shafts kind of collapse. In an event of an accident, steering shafts kind of have a point of give. But this is an older one. They didn't really have those safety regulations then. So it's not like I have to pull the rack out of the steering shaft as I'm taking it out, because I can't just lift this one off the rack like in a newer BMW or something. But this one just slid right out. That's awesome. Super convenient. There she blows. Looks the same. Well, I mean, here's one of the broken ones, but my favorite ratchet is this flex head ratchet, because, I mean, it's long enough I can break pretty much most bolts I need to break loose free and tighten them up with just this one, because it's, you know, just long enough. But, you know, I gave it the full send and twisted the anvil off the tip, so it's a little bent that way too. Oh, the clamp, I just squeezed it too hard and broke it. I don't know if this is warrantyable. 100% is. I don't know. It was like 20, 30 bucks for this set, so I'm not too worried. Snap-on isn't always expensive. It doesn't come with the bushings in. I gotta put the bushings in. We need to push the bushings in. I might have you help me with the pushing them in real quick though.
Okay. Press it. Keep going. A little bit more. A little more. Okay.
Sweet. Thanks, Dad.
Welcome, son.
Push.
Line up the splice.
We're just trying to put the steering shaft back on the rack. Since it doesn't collapse, like I was saying earlier, it's just a little more tricky. So we got the steering shaft shoved back into the steering rack. Right now I'm putting in just those 2 bolts that hold it, just so it, you know, doesn't move, wiggle around on me. Tighten these 2 up and then put the fluid lines back in. Tighten up the inner tie rods because it came all disassembled. Just kind of put it all back together on the car, and then it's time to align it. And I had to really push it back, but now it's like I had to push it up more, so now the groove isn't aligned for that one freaking bolt. Like you can
Go get the measuring tape.
It's like 6 centimeters on the dot. The yoke on the new steering rack is about 1/2 inch longer, and so that's not going to work because it's a fixed steering shaft. So with that, having that extra 1/2 inch of material on there, I'm really having to fight pushing it back to get a bolt started in. And I mean, that's just, even if somehow you're able to get it in, you're gonna feel a bind somewhere because it's not the right length. So Gonna go ahead and take it back out. It's not really in, but gonna go ahead and take it back out. He's gonna go ahead and call the customer and see what he wants to do. There's not really much to do, either find a new one or have us make it work somehow. But yeah, for now, we're just gonna put a pause on it, take it out, just in case, he needs to send it back for any reasons. Yeah, it's gonna be a pause for today, unfortunately, on this. Yeah, I mean, you can see it right here. It's longer. All right, so after a couple phone calls and texts between the owner of the car and the guy who rebuilt the rack, what we're gonna go ahead and do right now is take out the intermediate shaft, just the middle section of the steering shaft, and we're going to cut it down a little bit, just to make it a little shorter, just for it to fit now. The guy who was rebuilding it, he did say he's gonna get him a new one, but just for now, we kind of need the lift. We need to get it out of here, so we're just gonna cut it down a little bit for now, just so we can put the new one in and have it drivable in and out. It clamps on, so I don't have to take anything all the way out. Just loosened it a bit and it slides right off. What we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut a little bit of material off and weld it back together, and that'll be that for the time being. Again, just so we can put the new one in and at least be able to get it in and out. Johnny just got it cut and welded back now. Again, this is only temporary. It's not gonna, we're not gonna give the customer the car back, with this. The guy who rebuilt the rack, he's gonna send us a new one, shorter, the right size. But this was just for now. We had to cut it and shorten it just a little bit so the new rack can fit, so we can clear this lift and, pull the car in and out. But yeah, it's not permanent. It's just a quick fix just for now, so we can, get this in and out. The length is almost pretty perfect. Let's see. Taking these O-rings off these lines, I'm gonna go find some new ones that match up, because these are pretty flat and hard, so they're not gonna seal very well. So we got the rack all in, the rack's in, the lines are in. I'm gonna put the tie rod and outers on, hook it all up and then align it, and then it should be good to go. And you just use the power tools for majority of the threads. It goes by fast, so you're not sitting there going. All right, so we just got the rack all installed onto the car. Right now I'm gonna lower it a little bit, put the tires on, fill it up with some power steering fluid, and then head over to the alignment rack and align it so it can go straight. This thing is going to be way out of whack. So we just got it all aligned. It was a little tricky. just because when I put the rack in, I didn't have the steering wheel exactly 100% straight. But we got it all straightened out. Toes at 0, steering wheel's straight as an arrow up top. Now we just got to go drive it, make sure it goes straight on the road, and then customer can have it. Seems not pretty good off the bat. It's not an obvious crookedness or anything, and so far we're on a pretty bumpy, uneven road, but it's going straight. It does want to, it wants to pull to the left. It wants to pull left pretty good. And the steering is straight. When we go straight, the steering is straight. It just really wants to pull left. Man, you kind of can feel that turbo kick in, but it's not very much. Steering wheel straight, we're going straight. There's something when you let go, but that's not the toe, because we're going straight, so. I'm happy with it for the most part. There's a couple of little things I want to tweak with the alignment, but for the most part, it's done. I'm happy with the way it drives, happy with the way it steers. It doesn't bind, it doesn't feel like you're fighting against something. After I finish a couple of tweaks, it'll be ready to go back to the customer, and he'll be super stoked to have it back.
So I'm pretty sure you guys noticed on the background Hoovy's 2013 X6M. Finally, I had a few minutes to spare to take a look. There is a dead miss on number 1, 2, and 3. Compression is good, spark plug is good, fuel is good, so I'm trying to figure out why is it missing. I don't have any answers yet, but I appreciate you for keeping up with Ben this week. He helped a lot. Sorry I didn't have time to work on the Sierra, but I had more important things to do, but thank you for watching.